Hello everyone, and welcome to a pros and cons of the video game Mosaic of the Strange. I'm not Nail Mom, I'm gaming. These are short videos featuring all my little nitpicks and pleasantries with having played the game, while sustaining a bare minimum of spoilers. Let the reviewing begin. Pros. Mosaics on the scene. This is a fantastic concept. Normally in puzzle games, you complete one puzzle, then you can kind of do different things depending on the game you're playing, or just move on to the next puzzle to complete. But in this one, the mosaic puzzles are actually in the open scene, and all you have to do is zoom in on a specific object in order to start filling out the puzzle. And if you're a little tired of trying to figure it out, you can move over to the next object that's in the room, or just another one that piques your interest even more. There's nothing stopping you from moving from one puzzle to the other until they're all completed, and I love the control it gives you on which puzzle you want to work on at any given time. Hints definitely help. Unfortunately, they also make me feel like an idiot for not figuring out where I can easily solve an area, but there's just so much to look at and numbers to figure out that it does sometimes become too confusing, and you get lost in where and how you can progress. So thank heavens for the hint button, which recharges fairly quickly, though I've never needed to use it back to back very quickly. Once it helps you out in an area, you can normally keep expanding on your own, but it's a godsend when you're too frustrated to look at all the numbers anymore. Article to each object. Every object you complete can be read as some sort of clue as to what happened regarding the death on the scene. Not that whatever's written is what happened right here in this moment. They are more like possibilities on what might have occurred to this poor fellow. I kinda love that it's not as simple as looking at parts of a body and hypothesizing that this happened here and such. Instead, each object is seemingly different and prompts some type of confidential article for you to read that stretches a bit beyond what you might normally look into on a crime scene. You don't really know what's going to come up regarding each object, and that kinda gives you the drive to want to complete them, especially if you're into sci-fi. Cons. Colors unclear. The numbers of the squares have 3 different colors to them, and I only understand one of them. That would be gray, because it means the area is done. Not that you've got it correct, necessarily, but the number amount needed for the area is completed appropriately as far as the number itself. The 2 colors that I don't understand are the white and black. Sometimes numbers will turn black when you're working next to them, and then sometimes they're white. I wondered if the black numbers meant that I could solve that area right now, but that wasn't the case. Some of those numbers had too many questionable spaces to figure out, and the white numbers weren't easy to figure out either. Then I figured maybe the black numbers were ones I couldn't figure out right now. But if that were the case, then it would be the same for the white numbers. So I think they could have expanded a bit more on the color of the numbers in the tutorial, because they just left me confused. Progression is confusing. I was done with the first area, featuring the tower, having cleared all the objects I could with their puzzles, and the only thing really left was to click on the door, which would only take me to the field office. Once there, what to do next is a little unclear. The case board still has the same paperwork on it, with silhouettes of other evidence paperwork needed. I looked around the room to see if I missed something. I clicked on the characters. I went back to the tower and found nothing else. I even checked to make sure I wasn't just playing the demo or something, and no, I had bought the game. Turns out, at the bottom left of the screen is an evidence button with a number of papers, I think, beside it, that you need to click on. I would love for them to have that a little more clear, something that might have drawn my eyes to it once we were in the office itself. But it's just there, in a corner, in small text, as inconspicuous as can be. Detectives don't say a lot on scene. I get that your job is to read evidence files once you get back to the office, but with the 2 detectives standing here in this room while you do all the work investigating scenes and working on the puzzles, I just really wish they'd have something to say for each object you complete. But they don't. They just stand there, and you can't interact with them. It's almost like, why are they here? And that's the end of a pros and cons review of Mosaic of the Strange. Thanks for watching, everyone, and don't get in too much trouble when you say, "Not now, Mom. I'm gaming."